Okay. This gotta go higher. Okay. Woo, boy, oh boy. What's up, guys? I gotta break out a Dr. Pepper for this one. Listen, at least I'm not drinking alcohol. I know you. Listen. You know I like my mixology, right? But I'm not an alcoholic. Um, Being in nightlife for almost 20 years of my life, I know some amazing mixology. But tonight I'm keeping it Dr. Pepper. All right. Got some wild stuff, as usual, going on in the beloved comic book community. It's like a civil war. You got one side fighting the other side. I hope all of you guys make nice YouTube revenue. Because you know me, I don't care about the likes, follows, subscribes. I mean, I see a lot of these channels with 50, 60,000 views. That's all paid. Come on. Come on. Let's call a spade, right? These channels with 50, 60,000 views, right? You know you're buying your views. You know you're buying subscribers. You know you're buying views. There's no way. Want to know how there's no way? Because people would follow the story. People would follow the trends. People would want to see the he said, she said. So, if a page had a real 50, 60,000 viewers, and those views were actually real, those viewers would tune in to somebody else's channel who's only showing maybe 4,000, 5,000 views, 300 views, 600 views, because those are real people tuning in, watching the videos. So where's the other 50,000, 52,000 people? Where are they? It's like Whatnot. It's like Whatnot. They're all fake robots. That's where they are. Let's get into it. Talking about comic book auctions. But we're not going to talk about that garbage app. I want to talk about, and again, I'm not paid, endorsed, sponsored, receive special privileges. This is me talking to you. Short boxed app, comic book auctions. Now they're doing community auctions. So it looks like every single night, this week, last week, this week, next week, they're doing community auctions where sellers who sell and list their raw and graded comic books on Shortbox could send their books, can list their books for sale on the community auctions, which seems to be every night. I gotta tell you, there are some steal deals going on. Steal deals. I think a first appearance Gamora just sold for like $10, $8. A signed Greg Horn Wolverine 1, I think, went for $5. First appearance Cletus Cassidy, I think that hit $30. I mean, you could see, because you all could see auctions that ended and where it says bidding closed, and you could see what these things are selling for. Dark Knight Returns books, $3, $4. I don't know if it's just not being marketed, advertised. I don't know. I don't know why Shortboxed would not market and advertise these community auctions and their other auctions heavy and invest the money into advertising on social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Because let's face it, the math is the math. So if Shortbox, Gene, Kevin, if you guys are taking a 10% VIG percentage of the sale plus shipping from each and every single book that sells, well, don't you guys want more eyes on the prize to raise, to get more bidders, to get these sales higher for not only your users and resellers, but for also yourselves? You guys are making a 10% profit. So a book, let's say that Wolverine #1 signed by Greg Horn. Now, that used to be a $40, $50 book. I've seen sales $20, $30, but it's still signed by Greg Horn. I think tonight it sold for $3 or $5. If that community auction had a promotion from your company, maybe it would have hit 20, maybe it would have hit $30, and then you guys get a higher piece of the pie. Now, there's a lot of books that I've seen that were radically low, and whomever won got steal deals tonight. Congratulations. People have been getting steal deals all week. It's great for, again, the buyers. It's a buyer market right now. But I love this app. I love the app. I love Shortbox app. I love the company. I keep saying this. You got to realize that when I tour the United States, it's companies like Shortbox and people who care, like Gene and Kevin and that whole crew. They actually pay for their booths. They show up to comic conventions. They talk to the people. They invest in beautiful booths and setups. I said that from day one. I remember talking, you guys know Comic Dunes Jeff. I know Jeff for decades. I remember telling Jeff, Comic Dunes, how impressed I was with Shortbox. I still am. Does everything have kinks and flaws? Sure, that's life. You gotta make a mistake, you gotta learn. You gotta make a mistake, you gotta learn. That's how you get better. That's how you execute properly. But these auctions are very exciting. And again, I'm not paid, endorsed, sponsored, whatever. It's not like I'm paying for fake views here on YouTube. 50, 60,000 views, 30,000 views, 20,000. No. So, I hope that I'm doing it right. My hashtags work sometimes based on what I'm talking about. Views come in. Sometimes some of my videos hit over the 10,000 mark. I don't think I ever had a video 20, 30, 40, 50, but again, I'm not paying for fake views. I'm not paying for fake stuff. So, and I get why YouTubers do that. It helps virility, helps videos sometimes go viral, puts videos up in the rankings. I think you guys get more ad revenue that way, and you get pay-per-views. But I'm not fake. I'm not fake. And when you have guys like Journo and Thorough and Justin, Comic Com podcast, Sticky Goose, and you see their viewer numbers, and it looks normal. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, based on what these people are talking about. But let's call a spade right now. These other YouTubers, 50, 60,000 views, 40,000, where are they? It's the same thing like the bullshit Whatnot app. Where are they? It's fake. It's clearly fake robots. It's fake. Where are they? Because if they were real, they'd show up in other places, other videos, online. They'd show up in sales. They'd show up in viewership, in sales, in other videos to interact with. So, isn't it the obvious? I mean, it's math, right? It's obvious, right or wrong. Am I saying something that's not true? Where are these 47,000 viewers supposedly watching everyone's videos from that side? Where are they on this side to see what's going on? Now, I'm speaking as a neutral party, just sitting back, watching this, because there always seems to be drama, and yet, why? Who cares if, like, let me talk to you guys. Let me talk to you for a minute. Do you guys truly care if Jem is not doing a show anymore with Comic Tom? Do you guys truly care if to flip it? Do you guys care what Justin and Manimal you know, I'm talking about a this is not a shoot video. So I'm not trying to shoot on either side. But what I'm saying is this. You have one side that's supposedly getting 40 to 50,000 views on a topic. Where are those people, viewers, if they are real, tuning into this side of the microphone for this side of the story? You understand what I'm saying? If this side is showing 40, 50, 60,000 viewers tuning in on a topic, or just tuning in about comic books, well, why aren't those viewers tuning in when other gentlemen are talking about the same topics, the same comics, the same things? To hear different views. Now, I know as an investor, first and foremost, and I'm not talking about comic books, you guys know what I do. As an investor, I want to hear both sides. I want to hear the left, I want to hear the right. Same thing like voting. We're in 2024. Don't you guys want to hear both sides? Where's all the people? Because if they're real, they'd show up on this side. That's all I'm saying. So, from what I could see, it looks like paid marketing, advertising, buying viewers on this side of non-real people, because if they were real, they'd be tuning in on this side. That's all I'm saying. Does this affect my life in any way? No. Do I care? Not really. Should you care? Well, listen, you know, if you're a fan of one side, you should care. If you're a fan of the other side, you should care. I'm not a fan. I'm in this community. I think that what Tom has contributed to this business, you guys got to remember now, I owned stores, real physical brick and mortar stores. Real stores, paying rent, paying utility bills, paying employees, going in every single day, every single night, grinding. So you guys got to understand that somebody in my shoes who's not a YouTuber, a social media influencer, paid influencer, because some people can call me an influencer because they respect and value my opinions, and I appreciate that. You know, am I out here to influence anybody? Not necessarily. Am I out here to maybe give an education? Maybe open eyes up? Make you start thinking? Make you start analyzing? I'd like that. But do I care about views, subscribers, likes? No. It doesn't affect my life. I do what I got to do on my end in the real world, and then I just like to come and talk to you guys. Just keeps me going. I actually love these comic books. I actually read these comic books. Let me tell you a story. 4 or 5 years old, growing up, right? I've told this story on the circuit, but let me. This will get you into my head for a minute. You know, I grew up in a household where my parents would just yell and fight and scream and bitch and complain and break the whole house up. It scared the shit out of me. I'm a little fucking kid. I'd go hide in the walk-in closet. I'd read my Batman comic books. That's how my reading levels increased, because you have to realize that the vocabulary in a Batman or a detective comic books for a 4 and 5 years old is advanced. You're not learning that in kindergarten. And yes, I knew how to read very well in kindergarten. They wanted to advance me. I actually do have a very high IQ level, but I don't go around acting like that. I was raised very, very different. I'm more rough. You guys know that about me. But I wasn't out here reading The Secret Garden or summer reading lists. Matter of fact, every single summer reading book test, when we went back to school in September, I legit failed. And it was the only one test that I would fail every single year consistently, because I wouldn't read that garbage because it didn't interest me. I could care less about it. I knew, what the hell does that book have to do for my future? I knew that. But I'm getting off the subject. Growing up as a kid, that was my outlet. So I would read my Batman, my Detective Comics, my Spider-Man, my Avengers. I would read this. You know, I was fortunate. You know, I'm not saying I had bad parents, but they just fought every goddamn day, breaking the house up, scared the shit out of me. Maybe that's why I'm a bit crazy and wild. I don't know. But this is where I got to. Okay? So you have to understand that I actually love this stuff. A lot of people out there might say, oh, I love the industry, I love it so much. But they love the money. And then you ask them about a comic book and they don't have a goddamn clue. They don't know what happened. They don't know when somebody first appeared. They don't know storylines. They know sales. See, that's the problem. That's why back issues aren't selling. to the younger generation. See, back issues might sell to our generation just like toys. What do toy makers, especially McFarlane, the genius? It's all 80s, 90s remakes. Because you're not targeting to a little kid. You're targeting to our generation to buy this shit. That's who's buying it. That's who's going toy hunting to Target and Walmart and Kmart and GameStops and wherever else you go to buy your collectibles and your toys online. It's not the little kids anymore playing with toys. We're buying it. Is this industry about to die? Is this industry about to die when we die? I don't know. I don't know. Now I know, I don't have children, but a lot of people our age, they now got their little guys and their little girls, you know, their children, and they try to bring them to the Comic Cons and stuff and get them into it, but truly watch the market. See, even when I go as a guest, I'll be a guest at Fanatics Fan Fest in Jacob Javits Center this weekend, August 16th, 17th, and 18th. WWE, UFC, baseball, football, hockey, wrestling, everybody's going to be there. The Fanatics Live, the Card Breakers, massive sports collectibles event. First time ever. But I'm going to watch. I'm going to sit back, and that's what I do. I always observe. Because I love the people. I love the interaction, the communication. But see, I observe. Just like local comic shows on Long Island, where I am. I'll go, I observe. And what I'm seeing is the same people coming over and over. There's no new faces. There's no younger faces. It's the same consistent buyers, the same consistent community members, the neighborhood members, consistent, our ages. The young guys aren't coming. So that's showing me that this industry is taking a turnaround. And is it approaching a dead end soon? I don't know. You know, I don't know, because the legends before us, the legends, right? Now they're approaching 70, 80 years old. This is a fact. 67, 70, 80 years old. Now, those were let's face it, the Comic Con creators. You got guys like Mike Carbo. I mean, there's a lot of older, like them or not, iconic legends in this industry that are approaching that age now. So then you go to our age group, and now, okay, we have now, let's say, another 30, 40 years left in our lives, right? But then there's that gap. So now, let's question, well, what about the 10-year-olds to 20-year-olds now? And those 10-year-old to 20-year-olds, I don't see them. I see them putting on costumes and cosplaying, but I don't see them at booths. I don't see them on the hunt. I don't see them grabbing comic books and collectibles. I see our age group doing that. So this is something that we have to analyze. Because, okay, we could keep this industry going for another 30, 40 years, but that generation of the 10 to 20-year-olds, it's going to be dependent on them. not only as buyers, resellers, to keep the market active, to keep the market young and fresh, and also creators, artists, writers, even script writers. See, you guys, I don't know if you guys think about this or not. See, I do, because it just fascinates me. It fascinates me, and then that's why I watch, going back now to it, comic book auctions, comic book sales, because it's dead. It's dead. So, you know, you have that app, and that app crucified itself. And we all know what that app did, and no one cares. But you look at live sales, you look at IG live sales, you look at eBay, you look at Shortboxed, which I think, again, is a great app, but look at what things are actually selling for. Consistently. Not freak sales. Because a lot of freak sales are fake. Hope you guys know that. Like, you could get a buddy, say that something sold for $800, $700, $1,500, cancel the transaction in the back, or you guys just back end the sale. It looks like a sale online, but on the back end, everything is washed. You guys don't know about that? You do now. That's Freak Sales 101. It's called spiking the market. You could play around with the gauge, play around with GPAs. You guys don't think that a buyer controls GPA. A buyer controls FMV. But, like it or not, so does a seller. You think that all those sales at big auctions are real? You guys seen things resurface at the CGC. Oh, surprise, 2 years later, here's a fresh copy of a new thanks to guys like the 9.9 newsstands, and people that report and follow these trends. Even Brian McClay, Thorough talks about it. There's a lot of people that talk about this in the industry and actually hit it with the facts. And you guys call it, what do you guys call it? Receipts. But they hit it with the black and white facts. They put the photos up. They show the matching serial numbers. They show the history of... You think that this doesn't go on? Come on. Come on. You know, back in the day, people were forging comic book raffles. I'm telling you. Now, I'm not saying everybody does it, but you guys got to open your eyes. You have to open your eyes, because there's a lot of BS that is going on within inner circles of this so-called beloved community, and it's a big-time shady 101 corrupt business going on. So, with that said, you know, it's nice to see these apps, these companies like Shortboxed app, trying to actually help a seller make sales. On the flip side, if you are a seller, right, you can't depend, obviously, on these companies to promote for you. So you got to take the ball in your hands, get out on the field, and you got to try to do it yourself. That's why I even try to make reels. I try to come on and talk about it, but you see, I'm not fake. So whatever viewership I have, who's tuning in, they could see it on my Instagram, on my social medias, but I'm not pumping fake views and likes and subscribes and fake comments. So we circle back now to something that I said in the beginning of this video. Smoke and mirrors. Because where are the 50,000 people, viewers, subscribers, viewers, actual viewers, who viewed one person's video? Well, why aren't they viewing the other 3 people's videos? And that is the wake-up call. So with that said, listen, as always, buy what you like, buy what you love, but be responsible. Prioritize and focus and speculate smart. You know, you don't have to, let's be real, you don't even have to buy a comic book to read it. You could read any comic book free online. That's a fact. There is a website. You could look up any and almost every comic book and read it for free. And when you read a comic book and when you read these comic books, and if you really love and have a passion for it, that is how you're going to become a proper speculator. That is how you're going to learn stories, and that's how you're going to put together your puzzle pieces to figure out what's going to happen in the MCU and the DCU, and with your movies, and with your television shows. Because this is what these movie directors are doing as well. Matter of fact, they're not. They have a team behind them of advisors, whom are the ones who know the stories, and then they cumulatively build these shows and movies and scripts. Which is why I said, again, like I said 4 years ago, the focus in Marvel is the multiverse. Not on infamous Iron Man. The focus is the multiverse. Put the puzzle pieces together. Speculate wisely. Don't go squandering your money thinking that you're going to make a fortune off of something. Don't do that. Plan, organize, execute, and that is what's going to get you to the finish line. Have a good night, my friends. Think about what I talked about tonight.